technically freed him from his oath, but he still felt guilty. He could picture her somewhere in heaven, or possibly hell, waggling an accusatory finger at him for dabbling back into what she always referred to as a disgusting habit. So he stubbed it out in the ashtray. They said that time healed all wounds, but Jonas could find nothing to validate that theory. She had been gone for more than a month, but the pain of her absence was still fresh in his heart. It likely always would be. She would surely be disappointed that he was smoking, but proud of the man he had made of himself. Jonas had come a long way from the nappy-headed little boy in apartment 5H, but there was still so much further to go. There was a soft knock at the door, but Jonas's attention remained fixed on the mirror. After a few beats, the door opened, and Tavion stuck his head inside. He was a fresh-faced youth with ripe yellow skin and a thin mustache tracing his top lip. "Yo, Rath," he began, but a sharp look from Jonas cut him off. "Sorry, Jonas. Alex asked me to find you. The car taking you guys to the airport will be here in 5 minutes. There's a lot of traffic, and she's worried you guys may miss your flight." Typical Alex, always punctual, always organized. "Tell her I'll be down in a few," Jonas replied, and went back to staring through the looking glass. "You okay?" Tavion asked, but Jonas didn't reply. He had been working under Jonas long enough to gauge his moods. The darkness was on him again. It seemed to visit more frequently lately. With this in mind, he slipped back the way he came and left his friend to his brooding. Jonas waited for a few minutes until he was sure Tavion had gone before allowing the hints of a grin to touch the corners of his mouth. The youngster probably reasoned that he was angry with him, but he wasn't. Jonas knew better than most how hard it was to break old habits. He had gone by the moniker of Wrath for so long that even he had a hard time coming to grips that that part of him was no more. The monster had been put to rest, and he could start getting reacquainted with the man who had been so deeply buried beneath his pain for all those years. Jonas decided to make his exit a quiet one. There would be no grand farewells, no tearful speeches, and no second thoughts. He would simply slip out the back door without even so much as a farewell to his guests. He owed them nothing. Those in his inner circle knew that he was leaving and why. Those were the only ones he felt any obligations to. The rest could go fuck themselves. In truth, he doubted anyone would even realize that he was gone. They were too busy goring themselves on his hospitality. A few minutes after Tavion had gone, Jonas made his way downstairs. He bypassed the main area and went through the rear storage area, where they kept all the supplies. Tavion was standing near the back door, while Ace was pacing back and forth, occasionally stopping to exchange words with Tavion. Ace was one of Jonas's closest friends. He and Jonas had come up since kids. Ace and Tavion always argued like an old married couple, so Jonas didn't think much of the exchange. The volatile disputes between the two of them were just one of the many things he wouldn't miss about his old life and affiliations. When they spotted Jonas approaching, the conversation came to an abrupt halt. "El Jefe!" Ace gave Jonas a curt nod. It was something Ace called him when he wanted to get under Jonas's skin. "As of midnight, that distinction became yours," Jonas reminded him. "Like his ego wasn't big enough already," Tavion mumbled. He hadn't been in favor of Ace taking over when Jonas stepped down. He had been hoping it went to Prince. It wasn't that Ace wasn't solid. Prince was just where the popular vote would have gone, had there been one. "Ace has been with me longer than anybody. He helped me build this thing of ours and deserves this as much as anybody," Jonas told Tavion. "You don't owe anybody any explanations. It is what it is, and anybody who ain't happy with the new order of things can get swept out with the rest of the trash." Ace was talking to Jonas, but his eyes were on Tavion.